Out today in the Eric Garner case. His family and the Sergeants Union are criticizing the NYPD for how it is punishing a supervising officer in the case.
Sergeant Kizzy Adonis reached a deal to keep her job. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez here now with more on this. Hazel.
Christine and Maurice, today, Commissioner James O'Neill said this is where it ends, and no other officers will face disciplinary action for the death of Eric Garner. But Garner's family sees it differently and vows not to give up until all the officers allegedly involved are held accountable.
Gwen Carr says the loss of vacation days is not justice for the loss of her son, Eric Garner.
I'm just here today to say it's not over. Right. All the officers have to stand accountable for what they did to my son.
The NYPD decided Sergeant Kizzy Adonis will not stand trial and will keep her job. She will forfeit 20 vacation days in exchange for a guilty plea on a charge of failure to supervise. But the Sergeants Benevolent Association says Adonis pleaded no contest and never admitted doing anything wrong.
Kizzy Adonis is innocent. She never pled guilty. You were never told the truth of who was in charge that night, and the dirty little secret, which is a common practice to not do, that occurred by having one sergeant do two jobs.
The SBA says another sergeant was in charge of the Staten Island scene in 2014. Adonis, a newly promoted sergeant at the time, arrived after Officer Daniel Pantaleo had already wrestled Eric Garner to the ground.
The covering patrol supervisor then advised her, and I quote, "You go, I got this."
We asked the NYPD how Adonis failed to supervise. The department would only say the police commissioner evaluated her supervising performance that day and found it was lacking in certain areas. Garner's mother criticized the NYPD for waiting 5 years before reaching a deal with Adonis and dismissing Pantaleo. Commissioner James O'Neill fired Pantaleo on Monday and says the Department of Justice had asked the NYPD to delay its administrative trial.
And then in the summer of 2018, they said we could go ahead. They gave us the green light to go ahead. The message is that there's accountability in the NYPD.
Commissioner O'Neill, I ask you for the good of this department. I urge you to do what is right and resign immediately.
The SBA and Police Benevolent Association President Pat Lynch have been very critical of O'Neill for firing Pantaleo, but the commissioner continues to defend his decision.
My skin was very thin when I started this job 3 years ago. It's not so thin anymore. Now this is what Patty does. He thinks this is the proper way, right, to represent his membership. But my job is to protect everybody in this city.
Eric Garner's family is asking the Richmond County District Attorney to continue investigating all potential criminality in Garner's case. His mother says until that is done, this case is not closed. Christine, Maurice?
Okay, Hazel, thank you.